Study shows that pornography is associated with divorce. The data indicated that the more times that a man looks at pornography in a given period of time, the more likely he is to get divorced. So if he looks at pornography once a day, he's much more likely to get divorced than if he looks at it once a week or once a month or once a year. I would be interested to hear your take on that. Why do you think this is the case? Here are some possible answers from what I can think of. Possibility one is that the pornography causes him to objectify his wife. Another possibility is that looking at pornography causes him to feel guilty, and so he treats her worse. Another possibility is that the more he looks at it, the more likely his wife is to get upset about him looking at it, which would lead to divorce. Another possibility that this is a correlation and not a causation, that maybe husband and wife are not sleeping with each other, and that's why they're looking at the pornography, or he's looking at pornography in the first place, or not why, but that's how he justifies it or whatever, and that their marriage was bad anyways. Curious what reasons you think for this correlation. This is what I would say. I do think it's a really good idea, if you're a man and you have a pornography addiction and you want to have a good marriage, is to try as best as you can to get it under control. Because according to the study, if you even go from every day to every other day, you're more likely to have a better marriage, or at least to not get divorced. And that's better if you can go once a week or once a month or once a year. In our lives, we may not get complete control of everything. In a sense, we can be a slave to our lusts and desires. But the more control you get over your desires, the less of a slave you become. Based on people that I've worked with, I found that looking at pornography can be one of the worst things that you can do for your marriage. And now, there's some data to back that up. And I already know what a lot of men are probably going to say about this. They're going to say that they wouldn't look at pornography if their wife would sleep with them, kind of taking the blame off of themselves and putting it back on their wives. There is something to be said about that, though. Good marriages, people that report a high level of marital satisfaction, report having intimacy much more often. So ideally, you and your partner would be sleeping with each other more often. The issue here, though, is that your wife shouldn't sleep with you if she doesn't want to. And oftentimes, the reason why she doesn't want to is because you lack an emotional connection. And this is exactly why I created my marriage courses. I designed them to address the psychology behind friendship, behind romance, and bedroom intimacy. Men, your wife is different than you. It's not all about looks for her. It's about emotional connection. Quite frankly, what I've discovered is that most men are completely clueless in this area. They also don't know how to make bedroom intimacy pleasurable for their partner. Men, please do yourself a favor and look into some of my courses.